Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. We are live right now. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It's the best day of the week. Friday, right? Um, Also, for people wondering when 50 Cent is going to be up, next part 50 Cent will be up after the stream. After the stream tonight, it'll be put up. Okay. Hello, everyone. Okay. Hey, guys. Happy Friday today. Hey, everyone. Hey, Zach, Minion, Dave. Hey, everyone. Thank you, Vanny. What's the trophy you need, comics? Cyberpunk, yeah, I'll do one. Do a stream of it. Or not a stream, a playthrough of it when I get a chance later this year. Yeah, I'm gonna have a really good video on Zero. I finished recording all the clips with Zero last night. I just have to put in type up the script and then record that, and I'll be good. I can't read that. Is that Russian? It looks Russian to me. Have I seen the World War II movie Come and See? Yes, I have. Probably the best Soviet World War II movie of all time. I've seen that. I saw that movie a long time ago. That was a really, really good movie. Why VRBC Black Lagoon dubbing Ocean Productions? Wait, what? Vertigo? Thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry, dude. I can't understand what you're saying. What are you're saying something in Russian? What are you trying to say? If my dad was here, he could definitely translate that. My dad speaks Russian. Do I play with viewers on stream? Yeah. I just need to get MVP in a mode one more time. Do I have you added, comics? Yeah, but yeah, that Come and See was a very depressing movie. YUL QC McDonald's refusal Anglophones pisses off. Wait, what? Thank you, QC Suppressor, for the super chat. Yeah, I was thinking about coming back and doing Metal Gear Solid games again. $50 Eritrea, Iraq, Libya, Yemen, Sudan, Syria, Myanmar, and Sahel. 50 Cent, oh, you're, okay. I can invite you here. 50 Cent should go to North Korea in his next game. Oh, okay, Vertigo. Would you see Red Dead Redemption 2 online is fun? With friends, yeah, it's fun. No, I didn't, Vertigo. Okay, now I gotta find this guy here. Oh, I already found him? Nice.
I'm just waiting for it. Put some goddamn help. Mother of God! Ah, good lord! Come on, don't do this to me.
It's like a dynamite here, but
I'll make you pay for that.
what video did he watch Vertigo?
I'm gonna make you regret this, you dumb piece of shit.
Come on. Oh my god, horse, come on. My god, the horse won't come all the way down. Okay. I'm on PlayStation. Yeah, money laundering could be something they could add into GTA 6, definitely. Yeah, bounty hunting is still a great way to make money. Comics, what did you need again? Can you explain to me what trophy you needed again in Red Dead? You said MVP what? Well, it's because of all the technology that, like, it takes,
Dumb son of a bitch.
it takes a lot longer to, for armies to advance. No, I, ended up, going to visit my family, so I flew over, and... I want the cops to be smart in GTA 6, but I don't want them to be too smart where, like... You know what one thing I hate about GTA 5? Is, like, when you're out of the cops' cone of vision, but, like, you're hiding in an area, like, the cops will slow down. And they'll look for you, like, they know you exactly where you are, even when you're not in their cone of vision. I don't like that.
What the hell?
Favorite episode of The Sopranos? Also, can you do a Polly impression? Favorite episode of Sopranos, The Pine Barrens. My best Polly impression? Oh! Oh! That's my best impression of Polly. When he says that's synonymous with him. Thank you, Captain Price. Hey, Professional, quick question. Most of my life, people said I have a good, deep talking voice, and I say I should start YouTube. Should I do it? I'm 25. You're young. You got plenty of time to start YouTube. Yeah, I mean, if you... but... It's not just all about voice. It's all about the type of content that you make, but your voice does help. Do I have family in Poland? Yes. But yeah, what kind of content do you want to make, Captain Price?
Done deal.
MVP in a mode one more time? What, like a race? Could it be like a race then? Like the mode? Comics, join the posse. How's your day going? Me and my sister say hello to you. Hello, Jabron. How are you, dude? Hi, Pro. How you been? I've been good. Omni Kenny, how are you, man? Yes, I'll do Red Dead Redemption 2 again before GTA 6 comes out. Oh, that one Vertigo. Okay. Yes, I heard the Black Flag remake is coming out. it's gonna be really hard for me now because because I really wanted to do Assassin's Creed 3 on the 4th of July, but now because it's Assassin's Creed Black Flag is coming out right around that time, it's gonna be hard to do that. And I wanted to do it right when it came out. Do you have a favorite character in Black Lagoon? I think Revy. I think Revy's probably everyone's favorite character. My money just got stolen again? What? What happened, Shiny Knight? Do you think you'll play Star Wars Zero Company? I heard it comes out this year. What's it about? Just accept the posse. Just look up the posse. You should be able to join, comics. There's no, there's an open spot.
I am doing it now. Au travail.
It's an upcoming strategy Star Wars game. Huh. I got $90 stolen from me on a supplement for women? Wait, what happened? Since you're a massive lore guy, why did Billy Gray arrange the triads to kill Johnny and Jim? How did he get arrested by the cops? Brian was the one who called the cops on him. It's heavily implied it was Brian that did it. Yeah, he wanted to get rid of Johnny because he felt that Johnny was a thorn in his leadership. And Jim wasn't going along with Billy, so he tried to get rid of him too. And it's a strategy game, Lord Empyrean. What time period does it take place in the Star Wars universe?
Ah, there you are. I was worried about you. Mr. Creeps has been telling me about some of your adventures. I think
Does
it
Spelunking
be all
piss
true,
you off?
huh?
Cave diving activity?
Or
I wouldn't
perhaps
say it
he's
pisses me off.
Anyway,
People
even
can
this.
do
We have work to do. I have arranged to buy a
Look, I
They
don't
are
want to sound
expecting a delivery.
I don't want to sound cruel when I say this. People can do whatever they want. If they want to do skydiving, if they want to, like, you know, climb large mountains, if they want to, like, you know, go cave diving and stuff like that, that's their choice. But they should also accept the risks that come with that. So I'm not saying that they deserve to get hurt or anything like that, but it's, you know, they go into these very dangerous situations with their own choice. Around 20 years before the Battle of, Yavin, so it takes place during the Clone Wars? Yes, I'm gonna get Black Flag. Yes, thank you, Ed Lopez. I'm definitely gonna get it. Yeah. Do I go for walks in nature once in a while? Not really. Most of the time, I just go on the treadmill. I did go on a hiking trip, earlier this month, though. I went to visit some friends in Arizona, and we did that. Thank you, Suppressor, for the super chat. Okay. Do you think Jackie Aprile Jr. got what he deserved? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Jackie had that coming. I did not feel bad for him dying at all in The Sopranos. He definitely deserved it. It definitely did. And especially after he left Dino to die, too. Yeah, he definitely deserved it. I saw it coming. I love how Mafia the Old Country gameplay is a mixture of Mafia 1 and Mafia 3. Yeah. I really like the Old Country. I did. It's probably, I would say probably Old Country is probably my favorite Mafia game, because I just like the old time period, the old style Sicily the most. Thank you, Aaron. Patrick, you are sick? How am I, are you sick? No. What makes you think I'm sick? Hey Patrick, summer is coming 2 months for me, and it's gonna be the worst season for me when I'm working my job. What do you do, Isaiah? Yes, suppressor.
Howdy, partner.
Yes, I can invite you here. Hang on. Are you not in the hang on.
You can cut that out right.
You're in the posse already, Dopey. You just need to accept the posse invite. No, Sweet Indica, you're okay. I read your comment wrong. I thought you said you were sick, but no, you asked me, are you sick? I'm sorry. What makes you think I'm sick? I'm okay, dude. Thank you for asking, though.
Move your ass.
You need help? What's up, Joel? Well, just rejoin the session then, Comixer. Actually, I'll have to probably invite you because we're in a private one here. Let me invite. Are you visiting family right now? Yeah. Yes, he did. Was Jackie the one who shot him? Because when they had all the masks on, I couldn't tell who was who. Was Jackie the one who shot the Sunshine, the card dealer? Was that him? I'm still working as FedEx as a handler. Oh, and so you're gonna be delivering in the summertime then? Where in Arizona? It was right on the border. It was very close to Hoover Dam. I'm rewatching your Yakuza 0 playthrough. Do you have a hard time playing with an eye patch? No. No, I'm actually used to it. A lot of times when I would shoot rifles at a shooting range, a lot of times I would like to use an eye patch. It would actually help with concentration because you didn't have to actually close your eyes when looking through a scope. So I was actually pretty used to using an eye patch. So I'm not I was perfectly fine with playing it in Yakuza 0. Reddit Online doesn't really have a career progress. It has the old seasons, but all those are pretty much done. And Sweet Indica, you still here, man? You okay, dude? I'm not sick, but thank you for asking. Who is used to playing with an eye patch on? That's me. If you had to start over and grow a fan base again, do you think you could do it? Maybe if I really put in all the work. Yeah, possibly, but it would be very hard. Okay, Sweet Indica, Oh, okay, Wicked. Thank you for telling me. Hey, Pat, when you're shooting a rifle, are you supposed to look down the sights with your left or your right eye? Whatever your dominant eye is. Whatever your dominant eye is. People have... It doesn't really matter on whether you're left or right-handed. It's more based on what your dominant eye is. So everybody has a more dominant eye. Like an eye that's a bit more stronger. When is the Zero lore video coming? It is coming out later this month, before the end of May. Or before the beginning of May, I should say. Not the end of May, beginning of May. What's going on in this fine day? Oh, Leskiff, there was some guy that was speaking to me in Russian earlier. I had no idea what he was saying. I wish you were here a little bit earlier, but I have no idea what the dude was saying. Russian guy, are you still here in the chat? But there was this other Russian guy. He was like typing a bunch of stuff, and I just wasn't using Google Translate at the time. But I don't know what he was trying to ask me. Okay, let's see here. Do this one. Yeah, when we're kids, we're always so excited for summer. You're right on that. But when we're adults, we really don't like it. What was his name? I don't even know what his name was. He had like a really long Russian name. I couldn't even read it if I tried. Doesn't your dad speak and read Russian? Yeah, my dad can speak and read Russian. He can, but not only Russian, he can also speak Belarusian and Ukrainian too. He can read and speak all of those languages.
That mask won't scare anybody.
I'm replaying Mafia 3 today, doing DLC soon. Yeah, Mafia 3 is a fun game. Have I heard about this robbery in Philadelphia? No, what happened, Real Will? Oh, you're getting near the end there, Johnny. Have I heard about this old fermented drink called kvass? It's a Russian and Slavic drink. No, never heard of it. I will tell you, do you know what the most insane Eastern European drink is? Like, the most craziest Eastern European drink? It is this drink called spiritus. If you are, in Polish, it is spiritus. That's, I guess I'm just trying to say with a Polish accent, but, spiritus is, spiritus is a Polish alcohol. It's like an alcohol that you drink, by the way. And this alcohol is like, it's 93% alcohol, I think. It is stronger than vodka. Like, that is just insane. I think spiritus is actually considered the strongest alcohol in the world, in the planet. And it's literally like 93%, alcohol. It is insane. That's just ridiculous. But it's a Polish alcohol, I know that, and just if you're ever going to Poland, just be very careful what you order in Poland. And there's a very common prank that people do in Poland where people replace people's drinks with spiritus. So just you know, be careful with that, because that is a that is, you know, you drink something like that really quickly, that is gonna like literally hit you like a truck. Czy masz plany odwiedzić Jula QC Patroka? Am I planning on visiting Quebec? Is that what you're asking me in Polish? Maybe one day. But, you know, I want to travel the world, visit a few different countries, but I will probably do that probably like a year or two after GTA 6 comes out. That is probably what I will do. I've killed so many of these guys quietly already. That's not a prank, that's literally drugging someone against their will. Yeah, no, I agree with you, it is. But it's like, I mean, it's still dangerous, so that's why I say, you know, be careful what you drink in Poland, because people do that. They spike drinks with spiritus, and that is, Thank you, Josh King, for sponsoring my channel for 2.5 years. And thank you, Kaminari. Which griefing is worse, Reddit Online or GT Online? GT Online, yeah, GT Online, Kaminari. GT Online, and thank you, Change Significant, for sponsoring the channel. Thank you also, Eric. Hey, Patrick, happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. Now that Gilly has a PS5 GTA Online account. It would be cool to see you guys do some collab streams. Yeah, we could definitely do something like that. Definitely. Thank you for sponsoring my channel for 5.5 years. That's what 68 months is. 5.5 years. Thank you, Eric. You're one of my oldest members. Thank you, dude. You don't have to, let's skip. I was just wondering whether you saw the guy's comments or not.
Piece of shit.
Oh, I am extremely weak when it comes to alcohol. Very, very weak. If I drank like a cup of Spiritus, that would instantly knock me out. It would like that would just absolutely destroy me. And I don't even drink stuff like that, but yeah. Like if you want to know how weak I am against alcohol, if I had like a full glass of red wine, I would get dizzy within just, you know, a couple minutes of drinking that. So like that's just red wine alone. So like literally I'm very weak when it comes against alcohol. I don't drink that stuff really. I stay away from it. Very rarely do I touch it. But that is pretty weak against it.
Come visit the butcher. Daddy, you can call us long time.
Maybe one day, Ant-Man, we could do something like that.
Piece of shit.
I don't drink alcohol, and that's the way to do it. You know, really don't. Do you eat mildly spicy food? I'll eat spicy food for the most part. I will eat all kinds of spicy food. The only type of spicy food that I won't eat is I won't eat the type of spicy food that will immediately make you run for a glass of water. Like, you know, the spicy food where it's just so spicy you can't handle it, where you need water right away. That's the only type of food I won't eat. But other than that is I will eat, you know, generally any kind of spicy food, as long as it's not, like, super strong.
You want to dust up? You go.
Yeah, we're gonna do, what day is the 29th here? Let me look here. Wednesday, next Wednesday. We can do, didn't GTA 4 came out on the 28th, or was it the 29th? It was the 28th or the 29th. Yeah, we'll do an anniversary stream of GTA 4. We'll do it. We'll do it next week, yeah. I'll probably put a poll, and I'll probably ask people what console they want me to stream on, Xbox or PS3, and we'll do it then.
Hey, mind your space.
April 28th? Okay, that's next Tuesday. Okay.
What in the hell is your problem? I'm not having that.
Okay, let's skip.
Come on, out of the way. Carnation. Oh, shit. What's in?
My day's going good. How are you, Javi?
I'm gonna get out of these ropes. I'm gonna strangle you with them. I make you pay for that.
I played Hotline Miami. Yes, but I kept dying in it repeatedly. I sucked at it. Sedona. I've never heard of it. I didn't know that, Visionary. April 29th, 2008, so next Wednesday then, okay.
You gotta be kidding me. Again?
Are you a sports guy? Not really, no. Yeah, I could give it a try, Guillermo. Who would I trust more, Micah or Dimitri? Ugh. Oh, that'd be a tough one. Micah probably. As bad as it is, I probably wouldn't want to, but like I'd put more trust in Micah than Dimitri, honestly.
Damn it all!
Oh, I don't like alcohol for the most part. Also, with Skip. I mean, you see what it did to my people. My parents come from Poland. You see what alcohol's done to Poland too. It's caused a lot of problems in Poland. I'm not saying alcohol should be banned or anything, but it's people have overdone it a lot. Like Poland does have a drinking problem. The country does culturally have a drinking problem. It is that I think I think that one of my I think one of the reasons that I might be so weak to alcohol is probably because my ancestors probably didn't drink alcohol at all on my father's side. My mother does not drink alcohol at all whatsoever. My dad occasionally, but my father's side, his family, they are mostly Tatars. They're a Central Asian people that live in Poland, and most of my father's ancestors were Muslims that were from Central Asia, and in their religion, they didn't drink alcohol, and that's probably one of the reasons that I'm probably so weak to alcohol, because probably nobody at least from my parents, nobody really has from their families has really drank alcohol. But I do have like uncles and cousins that do drink a bit. Yeah, I know, Adrian. They don't. Does alcohol tolerance work like that? I don't know. I'd like to think that it is that if your family has like very strong resistance against alcohol, you probably do too. But I don't know. Is your dad Muslim? No. My dad is not Muslim. His mother was Muslim, but my dad is he's more like neutral in religion. He kind of more identifies with Christianity. But he's like generally just believes in God, but it's just not a very religious person.
I'll make you pay for that.
Deliver him at 3 minutes. Yes, oh, April 26th is gonna be the anniversary of Chernobyl. Yeah, you're right. It is going to be the 40-year anniversary of Chernobyl. Yeah, in 2 days. Yeah.
Get him alive just so we can string him high.
He's agnostic? No, I wouldn't say that. He leans more towards believing.
It's all there for you. Hope it was worth it.
Sedona is a spiritual town and is connected to Flagstaff. I didn't know that. Let me check the camp. I wonder, did they teach you in your degree how to spot alcohol? Not really, no. No, I never really learned about that. How to tell if somebody was drunk or anything like that. No. We really didn't learn about stuff like that. I learned more about how to tell when people are lying. So like when people are lying, I was taught that, but I wasn't really taught about how to tell if somebody's drunk. I know the police test that they do, like the police will tell you like, name me a number between 19 and 21. That's what they will typically tell you. And anybody who is like thinking rationally, they will tell you 20. but somebody who's drunk, they'll think, like, between 19 and 21, they'll think that that's, like, a big difference in between that, and they'll say something like 15 or something like that, and that's how the police get them. They also, like, you know, will, like, watch your eyes with that, and then they'll make you, like, walk in a line, too. Like, I know those things, but I didn't really learn about that in school. I just know about what the tricks that the police do.
In your own time.
What if someone was trying to get you drunk? Well, people have offered me drinks before, but I usually say no. But I don't, I haven't had it where somebody pushes me to drink. I've never had that happen.
The suspense is killing me.
Wyjaśnisz, zostałeś detektywem tropiącym złych ludzi? You want me to explain something about a detective with bad people? If that's correct, thank you, Bork, for the super chat. I don't understand fully what you said there.
Supplies are running down fast.
Which AK is superior, the AK-47 or the AK-74? Well, I personally think it's the AK-74. The AK-74 has less recoil. Its bullets it fires the 5.45, which is easier to control. The problem with the AK argument, a lot of times what people will do is people will say the AK-47 is superior to the AK-74 because they will say that the 7.62 by 39 is a bigger bullet. So it is a bigger bullet than the 5.45. That is true. So it'll create a bigger hole in your chest if it hits you. But the thing about it is that you could actually make the argument that the AK-74 is a deadlier gun to be shot with. You can, even though it fires a smaller bullet, you can make the argument it's deadlier to get hit with that than an AK-47. The reason it's the AK-74's bullet, the 5.45, is oftentimes called the poison bullet. The reason that it is called a poison bullet is because when it hits the body, it curves. So it doesn't, like, the 7.62 by 39 will go straight out, like it'll go in a straight line and go out, but the 5.45 will curve. So it won't go in a straight line when it goes through your body, and that's why it's called the poison bullet. And so that's why its injuries from the AK-74 were just so drastic to fix. Like it did so much damage when it would hit you. So that's what I would say is that in a lot of video games, the AK-47 does more damage than the AK-74, but I would argue it's actually the opposite. Or the 74, you could make the argument that it does more damage than the 47. Why couldn't the Northside gang reach the levels of the Southside mob? I think they could have. But it was incompetent leadership. That's what it was. The thing is that it all went downhill after the attempt on after Dino Bannion had Johnny Torrio arrested. It all went downhill at that point because Johnny, if anybody's ever watched The Sopranos, Carmine Lupertazzi is heavily inspired by Johnny Torrio, who was Al Capone's boss. Like, their personalities are so similar. Like, they're so similar. How Carmine talks, how he does business, is very similar to how Johnny Torrio did business. And Johnny Torrio, for the most part, would avoid conflict. He didn't want to get into wars. He didn't want to get into drama. And he would give concessions, even at his own expense. Even when he was losing money, sometimes he would give concessions just to keep the peace. He would do stuff like that. So Torrio was probably the ultimate gangster. He was probably the best mafia boss in American history. I'm not saying he was a good person, but I'm saying is he was probably the most intelligent mafia boss, was Johnny Torrio, because it's how he did business. It was all about business. It was all about making money. It wasn't about personal feelings, emotions, stuff like that. But if the Northside gang would have worked with Johnny Torrio, he would have worked with them 100% on that. There's no doubt about that. And they could have grown as an organization. They could have. Because the Northside gang had a stake in the casino in Cicero that the Chicago outfit owned. And so they had partnerships. They worked together. If Dino Bannion wasn't such a toxic moron, that partnership could have lasted. It really could have. And they could have grown into a pretty big gang. It was when, Johnny Torrio retired to Italy, and then Al Capone took power. Al Capone messed them up. And honestly, the Northside gang kind of deserves it. They kind of deserve getting destroyed because it's how stupid they were. They were just, they could have, chosen peace. They could have chosen to work with the Chicago outfit, but they just instead caused nothing but problems. So literally, they brought it on themselves. I don't know why they were so stupid. They could have just made money together, but they were just, Dino Bannion, like I said, was an incompetent buffoon. how to tell if someone is getting you drunk. I can't really tell that if somebody's trying to get you drunk. The one thing I will say is that there is a way to tell if somebody's trying to poison you with cyanide. And do you know how to tell if somebody's trying to poison you with cyanide? Is if you smell your food and your food smells like almonds, don't eat it. Because that's actually what cyanide smells like, is it smells like almonds. And so what a lot of times people will do to poison people with cyanide is they will use almonds in the food. So, like, they will put almonds in the food specifically. If anybody has ever watched that movie, it was the movie with, it was like a 1990s movie. I saw it, like, a long time ago. It was, the guy who plays as Morpheus in The Matrix. What's that guy's name? I forget his name. The actor, the famous actor. He's the guy who plays as Morpheus. He was playing as, who was the guy, god damn. He was playing as that famous New York gangster, that, god damn, I forget the gangster's name here. God damn. What was the name of the gangster he was playing as in the movie? He was the gangster who controlled Harlem. He controlled Harlem in the 50s. What was the name of that, black gangster who controlled Harlem in the 50s? New York and Harlem. He was like a really big gangster. He was like a really powerful mafia guy. Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne is the actor, but what's the name of the gangster? The gangster he played as in that movie. It was a 1990s movie. I forget the name of it. Bumpy Johnson. Yes, it was Bumpy Johnson. Yes, that's the guy who plays. So, Lawrence Fishburne played in a movie in the 1990s where he played as Bumpy Johnson. And there's one part in the movie where he goes to an ice cream shop. And when he goes to the ice cream shop, they give him almonds on his ice cream. And he specifically told them that he did not want almonds, and they still gave it to him. And when he asked the boss, he's like, who put the almonds on my ice cream? And he's like, oh, the new guy here. And then he told the new guy, why don't you, sit down and you have some of this ice cream? And the new guy didn't want to. He's like, I'm allergic to ice cream, which how can you be allergic to ice cream if you're working at an ice cream shop? But he was trying to poison him. That's what that was basically about. So that is it, is that if you're ever given food and your food smells like almonds, do not eat it. It is poisoned. That is it. Chances are it's poisoned. So that's what cyanide smells like. But not all poison smells like almonds. So not all poison is like that, but that's in the case of cyanide, that's what that is like. So that's a way to that's one way to check. That's why a lot of really famous people, they refuse to eat almonds. That's the reason for it, is because they're scared of getting poisoned. That's the specific reason. No almonds on my split. Yeah, that's what he says in the movie. I remember that. That's the line that he says in the movie. But yeah, Bumpy Johnson was a very smart man. Very, very smart man. Definitely one of New York's smartest gangsters.
We got you completely surrounded.
But there is a, have you ever been drunk? Long time ago, maybe more like a decade ago, very, very long time ago. I will say, when I have, I've had sake before, the Japanese alcohol, and, when I do have that, I can laugh a lot, so it's kind of weird, because I almost never laugh. I'm usually a pretty serious person, but I will laugh a bit, but it happens even after just 1 or 2 glasses. I don't know if I'm necessarily drunk at that point, because I can still see everything rationally, but I do laugh quite a bit. I think people probably get kind of scared if they saw me laughing, because I almost never laugh. Was that the Merchant King, Adrian? Yes, Anzac Day. Yes, that is the Australian and New Zealand troops that fought in the Gallipoli campaign. Yes, in World War I. Movie's name is Hoodlum. Yes, that's the one. I have no idea what strychnine smells like. I just know what almond that cyanide smells like almonds. Oh yes, he was, Adrian. I never really went to Polish restaurants. I went to Polish delis, like convenience stores, all the time, but I never really went to a Polish restaurant. A great villain. I think that Steve Haynes should have been the main antagonist in GTA 5. Steve Haynes, not Devin Weston. Oh, I missed the chat milestone. I'm sorry. Sup, Pro? Been a while. What are you gonna play after 50 Cent Blood and Sand? And when are you gonna play Spec Ops: The Line and Ghost Recon Wildlands? Hey, Alec, how you doing, dude? I am gonna play SOCOM 3 after I play 50 Cent Blood in the Sand because I promised my friend that we play SOCOM 3, so we're gonna do that. He's been requesting that playthrough for a long time. For Josh, I don't know if Josh is here, but I know he really wants to see SOCOM 3. So we'll do SOCOM 3 after that. And then, I don't know what we'll do after SOCOM 3. Spec Ops: The Line or Ghost Recon Wildlands. I might not do either one, because we just did a Special Forces game, and so it'll be another Special Forces game after that. So I'll think of something. But we're gonna do Spec Ops: The Line and Ghost Recon Wildlands before, GTA 6 comes out.
Careful. This one bites. There you go.
I know he was a very educated man, visionary, because he read a lot. A lot.
Well, look at this asshole.
That is true, visionary. Bumpy Johnson was Frank Lucas's mentor. Well, I like some of them. I think some of them are good, Aaron. What are you planning to eat for dinner? Probably some chicken cutlets.
You know, you did a bang up.
Thank you,
job
Aaron.
on that last one.
Boat Fef, let's do it.
How much you know about my operation, my munition sales? I got a whole network of distribution. Yeah, by land and water. It used to be all freight.
Well, the diamonds were cursed. They were stolen by the chef in GTA 4 Minion, Dave. The chef, tried to sell them to Gay Tony and Luis, and then the Lost stole them. And then the Lost sold them to, Johnny was trying to sell them to, the Lost was trying to sell it to the Jewish Mafia, and then and then Luis attacked the deal, and then Gay Tony stole the diamonds back, and then Nico had kidnapped Gracie, and he had demanded the diamonds, and then the diamonds came by, and yeah, and then one of Bulgarin's men then threw it on a dump truck, and it ended up in the garbage. Gołąbki, that's a Polish food. Do I like getting gun skins in games? Not really, no. I think a lot of them would be better with some story DLC, Vanny. Oh, Killzone I definitely want to play, yeah. I loved those games back in the day. Is somebody able to sit on the front? Oh, probably not, okay. Well, there's actually a pretty funny dialogue if you kill Gracie in GTA 4, Isaiah. It's actually a pretty funny one. If Nico kills Gracie, there's a pretty funny dialogue where Nico will say, like, you know, I got the rage and I killed Gracie. And then Packy will get pissed and he'll say, like, you know, my brother Jerry ain't gonna be happy, Nico. That's what he'll say. He'll say, you're lucky he's in prison. That's what he'll say. Yeah, I could see that argument that Liberty City Stories is the darkest GTA. I could see that argument. Liberty City Stories does have some pretty messed up scenes. Does GTA 3 count? In a way, but I think GTA 4 is even darker than GTA 3. Max Payne 3 makes GTA 4 a bit lighthearted. Yeah, with that human organs thing, yeah, that I would say Max Payne 3 probably the most disturbing, one of the most disturbing scenes in the entire game. I think probably the most disturbing scene in the entire I think probably the most disturbing scene in the entire, you know, GTA, you know, or Rockstar series, like, because the Rockstar games have some pretty disturbing moments in them. I think probably the most disturbing moment is that, probably in Manhunt 2. Yeah, I would say it's probably in Manhunt 2. It's when Danny killed his wife, and he sat on the couch just staring into, just, you know, just zoning out. And I remember when the doctor comes into his, like, living room when he's all bloody, just sitting on the couch, and just that, like, that probably was the most disturbing scene in probably the entire GTA series. Probably that. What's a deli? It's a convenience store. We call them in New York convenience stores. Yes, that was a National Guardsman that stole a tank in California in the 1990s. Yes, that is true. The tank wasn't loaded and he ended up killing himself. Have I been to a post office before? Of course, yeah. Thoughts on Dr. Seuss with the books? I read those when I was a kid. Are Max Payne games worth playing right now? I've never played them. Yeah, they're fun. They're great. I will just say this. I like Max Payne 2 much more than Max Payne 1. Because I will say in Max Payne 1, sometimes the gun combat could get annoying in Max Payne 1. In Max Payne 1, there was these really annoying grenade launching enemies, and like they would be like around a corner, and they would instantly kill you. Like you wouldn't even have time to react. Like the only way to survive is you have to know that they were there beforehand. Like so you have to prepare for them. Like there was like, you guys know what I'm talking about. In Max Payne 1, those grenade launching enemies, like I hated those guys. Like they would just one hit kill you. Like that just sucked. Tony Soprano's a massive hypocrite. Yeah, like look at what he did to Hesh. Is you know, he borrowed $200,000 from Hesh, and then what he did to him, like that was so messed up.
Get the hell out of there! Hey, you can't be here.
You had your chance.
Trying to get better with re-aim here. Good work. Mafia breaks its own code all the time. Oh yeah, they're just all a bunch of massive hypocrites. Yeah, well, Tony gambled away the money he was supposed to give to Vito's family. Yeah, that's just... It was disgusting. I don't know, Guillermo. I don't really know the lore in Street Fighter. Yeah, I know about that. When he's like the rent, like that when he says that to Hesh, it was you know, that wasn't okay. And the thing about it is that you know, Hesh was one of the few people that was like completely really loyal to Tony. Like he never really gave Tony any problems. Like I don't think Hesh caused any drama in the entire series. I don't think he ever caused any problems. So like he was always like loyal to Tony, and he even worked with Tony's dad, and he respected Tony's dad a lot. But it was like, you know, that was just, you know, so messed up. It's like, you know, he lent Tony some money, and then Tony was like, you know, such a hypocrite where he's like a parasite and destroys people's lives when they owe him money. But when he owed money to Hesh, he was trying to make excuses to pay it back. Yeah, I will, Adrian. I can look into it. Okay. Yeah, Tony's, you know, a giant hypocrite. Is there a harmless narcotic out there? No. Every single, you know, narcotic has some kind of negative effect to it.
Devil? The hell is wrong with you? I don't believe it.
Yeah, well, that was to illustrate Tony's hypocrisy. Yeah, and honestly, Furio would have been a much better husband towards Carmela, and I could not picture Furio cheating on Carmela. I could not picture him doing that. So Furio would have been a much, you know, a much better husband to Carmela than Tony was. And you want to know something? When Furio went back to Italy, none of the other mafia bosses would give him up. They wouldn't, because they did not respect Tony. They showed Tony no respect. They thought that Tony was a joke. Well, here's what I will say about weed use. You're saying I hear weed is harmless for one-time use, but devastating for intelligence for long-term users. Here it is. Weed does have negative effects when it comes to smoking. You're inhaling stuff. So anytime you inhale something, that's bad for you. That's what that is. Now, you know, weed, to be fair, is not as harmful as, like, cocaine, for example, which is way worse, or even meth, which is even worse than that. But you know, it doesn't have, you know, positive effects either. It can reduce pain, which that's why sometimes doctors prescribe it. But and this is the thing, I don't want to scare people when I say this, but there are studies that have been shown that people that smoke pot like every day, people that do it every single day, that they have a much higher chance of developing schizophrenia later in life. So, you know, the mental illness schizophrenia is that people that smoke weed regularly, like not occasionally, but like regularly, like every single day, have a much higher chance of developing schizophrenia than people that don't. A lot of people don't know that.
Holy hell!
Goddamn.
See. What was AJ's problem in season 6? Well, he was depressed. His fiance had, you know, abandoned him. You know, and the thing about AJ is AJ never really had Tony as a father figure. Like, Tony was really never around. Like, if you notice, like, Tony never really spent that much quality time with AJ. I mean, I know there was a few scenes, but not really that much. Yeah, that's what I'll say about it, is that Tony was, never really there for AJ. Like, a lot of people hate AJ, but AJ is a product of his parents. That's ultimately what he is.
Whoa, that mask ain't the start of anything good. Whoa, that mask ain't the start of anything good.
You can just deliver the target. We'll just deal with this here. Meadow was his favorite child. That is true. He loved Meadow more than he loved AJ. That's true.
Go on. Here's what's yours.
Yes, well, it was just called the Assault Kalashnikov. That's what it was called, with Skiff. You know, it's a shame that Kalashnikov never got the money that he deserved for that project, because I will tell you something, and a lot of people don't know this. If Mikhail Kalashnikov did not grow up in a communist country like the Soviet Union, like, if he would have made that gun in any other country, that guy would have been a billionaire. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, Mikhail Kalashnikov would have been one of the richest people on the planet. There's no doubt about that. But because he grew up in the communist country, he never really got the reward that he really deserved for, you know, making that weapon. You know, he made one of the greatest assault rifles ever made. And if you want to know how rich he would be just as rich as Bill Gates. And yes, I'm serious. He would be just as rich as Bill Gates. The guy who made the AK-47. You're telling me if the guy who made the AK-47 would be one of the richest people on the planet. Definitely. There's no doubt about it. Oh, it's Automat. It's automatic Kalashnikov. I'm sorry, my bad. Not assault Kalashnikov. Automatic. Automat, that's automatic. So, yeah. Let's see here. Go up here, do the mission from her. I haven't done the mission from the crazy old lady. I haven't done a mission from her in some time. What the AKM came after the AK-47. I know that. But I know more, there are a ton of AKMs out there where people think they're AK-47s, but they're AKMs. I don't think there's that much of a difference. I don't actually surprisingly even know. I should know the answer to this. I'm a gun guy and I don't even know the answer to this. Let me look this up. What is the difference between AK-47 and AKM? Because there is a difference. It's a small difference. Well, let's see. The AKM is the modernized Kalashnikov. It's a lighter, more cost-effective, and refined version of the original milled receiver AK-47. So it's basically a lighter, more cost-effective version of the AK-47. The AK-47, the receiver is milled from solid steel, while the AKM is stamped from a sheet metal, featuring a small pressure and dimple above the magazine. Okay. AKM is lighter, weighing 3.1 kilograms unloaded compared to the AK-47 that could weigh 4.3 kilograms. The AKM features a standard muzzle brake to reduce muzzle climb. The AK-47 typically has a flat muzzle nut. Okay. The AKM is a slightly slower cyclic rate of fire to improve controllability, partially due to the addition of a hammer. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so it's they're similar, but AKM is basically a more modernized AK. That's basically to sum it up. You ever going to play Made Man Pro? Isn't that like an old game? I think my friend Wilsey played that game, because Wilsey, he does a lot of playthroughs of games. I think he played Made Man before. It's like a Mafia game, right? It's an older game. It's an older game. It's like the early 2000s when that game came out. Am I right, Antonio? And thank you for the super chat. Largest donation today, Antonio. Thank you. Thank you, Antonio. Imagine Father Lothar-Milch reacts if he sees Eddie Gluskin. Well, what makes Father Lothar-Milch so scary is that there are people out there like Father Lothar-Milch. Like, he's a pretty realistic villain. That's what's so scary about him. Well, Kalashnikov had also worked on a submachine gun, but I don't think his submachine gun ever took off. Did you know the PS1 used B as a CD add-on for the SNES? No, I didn't know that, Aaron. Have I played the Hitman series in general? Oh, yeah. I played Blood Money, and I played Absolution, and I played Hitman 1 through 3. I didn't play the old ones, but I played the newer ones, yeah.
Oh, hey. That last job worked out pretty good. Well, all right, then. It's one of our couriers. Nice feller. Little stupid. But he don't overstay his welcome when he's passing through, so he's all right.
What if he went to America and he presented his ideas to the military In America, he would not have gotten rich because America does not adopt the 7.62 by 39. But if he developed it, you know,
Well, okay.
if he developed the AK-47 in 5.56, then yes, perhaps he would have been heavily rewarded for that. I played the 2014 Wolfenstein, Benny. That one I played. If you are a mobster, what fictional or real-life boss would you want to work for? Johnny Torrio, if anything. Are there any modern Russian firearms you can own in the US? You can own pretty much most Russian modern firearms in the US, almost everything, really. It depends on the state that you live in, but if we're talking the gun-friendly states in America, you know, virtually, you know, almost all, you know, Russian guns you can pretty much own. You just have to have them in semi-automatic. You need a class 3 license to get some of the other automatic ones, but like you can own an AK-47 in the US. You can have a 74. I actually own an AK-74. I have that one. I have an SKS. I have that one. I have an SVT-40, but that's World War II. The Mosin Nagant. So I have a few Russian firearms. I think Russian firearms are probably the one I have the most of. Yeah. I think yeah. I think I have more Russian guns than any other country. Oh, AK-47 is definitely a fun gun to shoot. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Party Police it is. Okay, this is a bit ridiculous here. Gonna have to come back. Yeah, there are some people that think the Israeli Galil was ripped off of the Kalashnikov design. Some people do think that. Oh, hey, Anawak, how you doing, buddy? General, can you, invite me, please? Yes, let me accept it. Thank you. In my state of Midwest, some of the guns you have, we can't own. For example, like the SVT-40. What state are you in that you can't own the SVT-40? What, let me guess, Illinois? Illinois, right? I could probably guess it's probably Illinois. Probably is, because Illinois is that one. Most of the Midwest is very gun friendly, but it's like Illinois is that one that's pretty anti-gun. Is Illinois? Did I guess it right? Or it could be Michigan, but I think it's probably Illinois. The Uzi is a great submachine gun. It is, yeah. Okay, let's see here. I guessed it right. It was Illinois. Yeah. So for the most part, most of the Midwest is very pro-gun, but it's Illinois is that one most pro-gun Midwestern state. It would either be Iowa, South Dakota, or North Dakota. No, we're not full, Brandon. I can help you with that, Comics. Can it be a race, by the way? Because the race would be the easiest one for us to help you win. Can it be a race, or... My moonshine is done? Okay, invite me to Posse then, James.
What am I doing? Oh, just calm down, Harriet.
stopping?
Oh, Harriet's
The
here.
scales of the universe will see justice for your cruelty. Mark me. I've heard what you've been doing. They tell me, you know? Disgraceful. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Probably the most annoying character in Reddit Online is probably her, yeah. Do you guys think she's the most annoying character in Reddit Online? Have you ever fired the Mosin Nagant? Oh yeah, I own a Mosin Nagant. Hey Pro, what's your thoughts on The Last of Us, my man? Respect for staying real, and by the way, your GTA guides helped and saved me, bro, so thanks. I really liked the first Last of Us game, but I wasn't that big of a fan of the second one. I didn't play the second one, but I did watch a playthrough of it. But Balashnikov? I didn't know that. Liskiv. James, can you please fast travel us inside the moonshine business, like when you get there, like, just bring the whole posse in, please? Oh yeah, I've been there, Airborne. I've been there, I've been to Rapid City as well. And I was in, Bismarck. Bismarck is, that's in North Dakota. But Sioux Falls is the eastern part of the city, the state, and then Rapid City is the western part. What's the most gun-friendly East Coast state, Pro? A tough one. If we're going specifically in the states on the coast, on the eastern side, probably, difficult one to answer here. Florida, maybe, but Florida, I know has, Florida doesn't have open carry, does it? Does it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it? It might be Maine, too. Maine might be close. Florida has concealed and open carry. Okay, because I know it used to not have one. Was it open carry that it used to not have? Because it used to not have one of them. It used to not have one. So I guess they changed it then. So okay. Killer captured a target. What is this? I have Vanny, I own it. Okay, so it was recently changed in Mustang. I didn't know about it. Well, Michael Corleone doesn't let emotion get to him, yes. He's very intelligent, but Michael Corleone has another weakness. Michael Corleone's weakness is he has no compassion. And I think that is a weakness. I think not being able to show compassion, I think, does make you weak.
People like him.
No, I don't think the commission is gonna risk starting a war with Lincoln because they saw what he did. No, I don't have a Galil. I am having a great Friday. How are you, Paris?
I ain't
No, I never played True Crime New York. Can I get invite to sessions? Sure. What just happened? What the? I literally just got stomped. Thank you, James. It's going good, John. How are you? Do you own an M1 Garand? Yes, I do. I have an M1 Garand. I even have the bayonet for it. And the bayonet is massive. It's giant.
Come on now.
It's like probably the largest World War II bayonet I've seen. It's probably the Garand's bayonet. It's like, that is huge, that bayonet on it.
What is the matter with you?
Well, after that, it was Michael Corleone was never the same again, Johnny. Yes, I do, Caton. Hey, Pro, I'm 14 years old. Do you think I could become a GTA 6 YouTuber? Yeah, but the thing is that you're not gonna be able to be monetized until you're 18. You need to be 18 to be monetized. You know, you could have like a parent do it for you. You know, that's how there's child YouTubers. They do that. They have, you know, their parents do the ad revenue, but that's basically is that you have to be 18 to be monetized. Like, you can be a GTA 6 YouTuber at 14, you just won't be able to be monetized until you're 18. But look, on the bright side is, 4 years from now, when you'll be 18, GTA 6 is still going to be making content. So you got plenty of time to do it, so don't worry about it. GTA 6 is probably going to be supported for the next 20 years. And I'm not joking when I say that. It's probably going to have 20 years of updates. So I'm going to be like probably in my 50s by the time GTA 7 comes out. I'm 31 right now.
Let's go. I got places to be.
What sidearms do you own? I actually don't own any sidearms, surprisingly. I have so many rifles, like so many rifles I have, but I don't have any sidearms.
Hello, ma'am.
I'm sure you'll be back.
Do you own any German World War II weapons? Yes, I do. I own the Kar 98. That's the one. I'm trying to think. Do I own any other German World War II guns? It's the Kar 98 is the one I own. Anything else do I have? Let me think. I have the Mannlicher M95, if you count that as a German World War II gun. It's an Austrian-Hungarian gun, so it's Austrian, but Germany did use it during World War II, so I don't know if you count that. But I have the Kar 98. I'm gonna be 30 this year. Does it hurt? It does in a way, I'll be honest with you. When you turn 30 years old, it feels weird. Because you know your 20s are gone. That's what it basically feels like that. Like, I feel like I'm getting older. Like, I don't feel like I'm a kid anymore. I don't feel like I'm younger. I'm not saying that I'm old or anything, but I definitely don't feel like I'm younger. So that's... SOCOM 3 after 50 Cent.
Your boss and I, we're going places.
It's ironic that Vito was born of nothing, he died of everything, but Michael was born of everything, and he died of nothing. Yeah. Yeah, I would have loved to see this game get more content. They won't have anything like aliens or anything like that, Zach, but Satoa is the new enemy country that's gonna be in Ace Combat 8. And they're definitely gonna have some kind of crazy super weapon. Like every single Ace Combat game, the enemy country that you fight always has some crazy evil super weapon near the end of the game. I wonder what Satoa's super weapon is gonna be. But I will tell you, the scariest super weapon in the entire Ace Combat series, it's actually not the V2. A lot of people think it's the V2 nuke that's the scariest one, because the V2 nuke has 8 nuclear missiles inside of it, so it's 1 nuclear missile with 8 missiles. But it's not the scariest one. The scariest super weapon in the Ace Combat series is probably Megalith. And the reason that Megalith is really scary is because the V2 Belkin nuke can destroy an entire country, but Megalith can destroy an entire continent. So, what Megalith basically does is a missile control system, and what happens is it fires missiles into space. Those missiles travel through space, and they hit the asteroid belt. So they literally travel into an asteroid belt, and they hit giant asteroids, and they blow them up. And what happens is, when those missiles hit those giant asteroids, it changes their trajectory, so they're not in a circle just flying around in orbit in Earth. They will come right towards Earth. And how the system works is that the way the missiles fire, they can basically pinpoint exactly where the meteor will hit. So it's basically like a weapon that's designed to make meteors fall from the sky and crash into Earth. And in Ace Combat 4, the Erusian officers at the end of the game, they desperately try to activate the weapon, and it shows you like a map of what the Usian continent would look like after Megalith is activated, and almost the entire Usian continent is gone. Like North Point, which is based on Britain, is like completely engulfed in water. Like tsunamis would just completely engulf it. Most of the Usian continent will be engulfed in tsunamis, and then the other ones will be filled with giant craters. So it would really destroy something. Usia is the size of Europe. So literally, that's what it would do. So the Megalith is probably the scariest Ace Combat weapon. A lot of people say it's always the V2, but no, it's the Megalith. That's the worst one in the Ace Combat series. That thing is just terrifying, that weapon. No, not at that, Vanny, because I want to focus on just one playthrough at a time. Is that the guy doing the documentary, Adrian? Age is a number. Do not let anyone, tell you your, actor age. Enjoy life. Okay. Yes, Joey Leone's voice actor also did Troy's voice. Yes, I actually did not know about that until years later. But yes, you're right. Oh, Excalibur was terrifying too. Yeah, it was. But Excalibur is only a threat to planes. It can only really hurt planes. It can't really hurt civilians. I'll see a visionary. I didn't know that, Liskiff. Homefront, I do want to do a playthrough eventually also, Manny. Any changes you'd like to see in GTA 6 from GTA 5 and online? The biggest change, I would like to see a better money system. I would like to see less of a grind. I don't want a constant grind. I want actually a good money system. Can you help me sell my moonshine? Sure, Brandon. Oh, and Comix, are you still here, by the way? You needed help with that, You needed help with that MVP, right? Is Comix still here? He is. Would you say Megalith can be world-ending? It could, yeah. Depending on how big the meteor is that it gets to... Yeah, it could. Hey, if you're the son of Polish, can you apply citizenship? Yeah, you can. You know, I have citizenship through my parents, so my parents are from Poland, and I think you only need one parent, though, so, like, I don't think you need both parents to be from Poland. I can look that up for you, but, do both your parents need to be from Poland to get citizenship? Let's see here. You only need one Polish parent, grandparent, or even great-grandparent. Wow. So yeah, so your ancestors just need to have Polish citizenship after 1920, because that's when Poland got its independence. So that would be so it says here that even your great-grandfather. So yeah, so yeah, yeah, if you have one of your parents from Poland, you're good. You're fine on that. And you know, is yours automatic, or did your parents? We had to go through some process in the embassy to do it, you know, stuff like that. But you basically, it was like I know you have to prove that your parents are from Poland. Your parents can do everything for you, but that's basically it. Well, he seemed like he had was a good guy, but I don't think he fully understood all the events that happened in the storyline, Adrian. I don't know about that, Gunner. That I don't know. I do know that Teddy Roosevelt was extremely depressed when his son died. That is true. And let me help Brandon with this, and then I'll help Comics with his event here. I don't know if I want kids, but if I have kids, I don't really care about the gender. I didn't end up doing it, Ferris. I'll see you, Johnny. Take care, man. My great-grandparents were born into partition, so they were considered Polish and Austrian nationality-wise. Well, your great-grandparents, they don't need to, they could have been born in Poland when it was occupied by the foreign powers. You can still get Polish citizenship. I don't know if this is 100% true. I'm just getting it off what Google AI says. But Google AI says that you just need to prove that your ancestors had Polish citizenship after 1920. So that's it. So this is so you know, you could be you don't even have to be 100% Polish. You know, you could have one of your parents be Italian and one of your parents be Polish, or even one of your ancestors. So like, you know, both your parents might be like, you know, of Italian background, but if you can prove that you have like a grandparent that was Polish or a great grandparent that had like after 1920, you could, you know, try to apply for Polish citizenship. But I would highly recommend, though, if you do that, please try to learn some Polish. Do that, though, because Polish people do really appreciate it when you speak Polish and they you know Polish. You know, I've been to Poland before. I speak Polish to people, and people really appreciate it when a foreigner speaks Polish. And what game is that, Zach? Well, Fargo is the Midwestern Mafia. Midwestern Mafias are very different than the Italian Mafias at Ananda. Isn't Polish a mix of Russian and German? No. The Polish language has nothing similar to German. Nothing. When I hear people speak German, I don't understand anything whatsoever. But when I hear people speak Russian, I can make out some of the words that people are saying, but I'm not going to understand fully what they're saying. But I will say this, Poland actually predates Russia as a civilization. A lot of people don't know that. So Poland was a civilization first before Russia was. So a lot of times people think that Russia was the first Slavic civilization, and then they think, like, you know, Poland came after that. But no, it's actually, Poland was actually the first one.
Search your wagon for moonshine.
Let me see, is,
Now,
I wonder how old it is, how much more it is then.
I wonder.
Hang on. Poland is about 300 to 500 years older than Russia. That's what it says. So yeah, I knew Poland was an older country, but not by that much. Can you understand Czech and Slovak? Yes. I can't speak the languages, but I can understand what people are saying. One of my friends, he's Czech. Well, he's an American, like me, but his parents are from the Czech Republic. And when I've heard him speak Czech before, I can make out a lot of words. It actually sounds more similar to me than Polish, or than Russian. Do I like macaron z truskawkami? Macaroni with strawberries? I know that's a Polish dish, but I've never had it. Thank you, Marina. No, Polish does not use that. Not Wyatt. What are the Slavic people exactly? Slavic people are Eastern Europeans. The thing is, I don't think that there has ever been a full explanation on exactly where the Slavic people came from. Because, like, during Roman times, for example, 2,000 years ago, the Slavs did not exist in Eastern Europe. And so, a lot of people don't know fully where they came from. There's a belief that they came from the Caucasus or they came from Siberia, but I don't know if it's ever completely proven. I'd have to research that a little bit more. I'm not the best history on that. But I know that, like, Slavs, they immigrated from, like, the, East, I know. Let me see here. Hey, I hope you're, well, quick question. Do you think GTA 6 will be woke slop like some people are saying? No. I don't believe that. People are saying that GTA 6 is gonna be woke. No, it's nonsense. And whenever I ask people, like, why is GTA 6 gonna be woke, they always say Lucia. Well, that doesn't matter. Just because you have a female character doesn't mean that the game is woke. There's nothing woke about it whatsoever. There's nothing. Like, if you look at, like, GTA 3, for example, if GTA 3 came out today as a game, like, if it came out tomorrow, people would call GTA 3 woke. You know why they would call it woke? Because Catalina is the main antagonist. That's what they would call it. And nobody was calling it woke when it came out in 2001. Nobody was. So it's, and when you really think about it, if Catalina was not an antagonist, she could be a protagonist. She could be a playable character. I could very much see her as a playable GTA character. So, no, I don't think there's anything woke. If you want to know what a woke game is Saints Row. Like, the Saints Row reboot, that game was woke. So, I'm not a fan of the woke stuff. I don't want it in games. But, like, GTA 6 is not going to be woke. Whenever, people never make a good argument on why they think that GTA 6 is going to be woke. I don't believe that. I don't think it is. Like, Rockstar sees what happened with Saints Row. They don't want to piss people off like what happened with Saints Row, so they're not going to do something like that. Now, is GTA 6 going to be as dark as GTA 4? No. I don't think a GTA game will ever be as dark as GTA 4 again, but it's not going to be woke. Hey Pro, mate, as an American, what's the most confusing thing about somewhere like the UK to you? Or just Europe, to be honest? Also, you should visit if you can. The most confusing thing for me, probably for Britain, I would probably be that you guys drive on the left side of the road. That's probably what's the most confusing, for me. My cousin is British, by the way. But he didn't, he doesn't live in Britain anymore. He left, like, a couple of years ago, but he grew up there. He used to be a mechanic. He had a mechanic shop that was near Manchester. Yeah, that's probably what I would say is probably throws me off the most, is probably that. I know that you guys in Britain also, you guys use different words than us. Like, you guys, for example, instead of, we call it garage in America, you guys call it garage. You guys also call garbage rubbish. So we call it garbage, you guys call it rubbish. You guys also call, trucks lorries, so I think that's what you also use. There's a few different things. It's not like a whole lot of difference, but there are some noticeable differences. Does he have a British accent? Kind of, yeah. He grew up there. forcing a star supernova called the Tritium that can destroy an entire star system. How does that work? Oh yeah, in Australia they call the hood of the car the bonnet. I know that, like, that just throws me off so much. They call military. Yeah, that is too. Oh, and I know that the, I know, you know what I think is really funny? Whenever I say the word aluminum, that makes British people pretty mad. Because we say that word just so much different. It's, we say aluminum, and they say aluminium. So that is that. But for people that wonder why is British English and American English so much different, why is that? Our languages actually used to be pretty similar, you know, back when we were actually a colony. But the reason that British English and American English is so different is because of David Webster. So if you ever read the Webster's Dictionary, everybody's probably seen Webster's Dictionary. Webster in the 1830s created Webster's Dictionary, and so this was like about 60 years after the American Revolution, and we basically wanted to make an Americanized version of English. We wanted to make English basically our own, like, unique variant. So we were actually we were making an attempt to make English a bit different than British English, and that's where Webster's Dictionary came in. So that all happened in the 1830s, and that all changed there. So that's where it came from. Is after the Revolution, they were basically trying to make the language a bit different than English, and that's how it happened. Yeah, Latvians and Lithuanians are not Slavic. That is true. I will start the race, comics. Hold on. Let me start a posse here. Oh, and do you know one word? Do you know what the number one word that I can think of that confuses me in British English? I know it. Scheme. Because the word scheme means very different in British English and American English. It's very, very different. And I guess the word scheme is like the perfect example of the cultural difference. Because, like, Americans culturally, for example, like, really do not like government and government authority and just large government in general. And that's why the word scheme is just a very bad word. For example, I was talking to one of my friends that lives in India, like, a couple months ago. And in India, I know they use British English. And he was telling me that the government has this scheme, and he was, like, explaining to me this government plan that they had, these new laws that they were passing, and I was, like, telling him, well, I was like, you know, why is the government doing all these, you know, these bad things? And he was like, what do you mean? And I was telling him, like, you know, scheme is a bad word, and he's like, no, it's not, it just means plan. And I was like, what? And so that's how I basically found out about that in British English, scheme basically just means, like, plan. That's what it means. But in, like, American English, the word scheme, it basically means, like, an evil plan. Like, whenever somebody's scheming, like, when there's a scheme, it's something bad. It is just not a good thing. It's just, in general, like, a scheme is something like a gangster plans, or like a corrupt official or something like that. Like, a scheme is just, in general, just something bad, some kind of bad plan. That's ultimately what it is. Usually a scam or something like that. So that's what a scheme is. So it's a, that word always confused me, is that scheme is very different. Where scheme is a bad word and that word can be so confusing because it's a bad word in American English, but it's a good word in English. So that's what I'll say about that one. Okay, let me see here. Okay, Brandon, if you want to join this posse too, I can't join posse is full. Let me fix that for you here. Okay, and guys, we're gonna help Dopey get a trophy right now. So please let Dopey win the race. You don't have to do anything, just let him win the race, and he'll get his trophy. Yeah, the Polish civilization is older than the Russian civilization. That's the thing is, I've heard Russian ultranationalists say before that that Poland is like a breakaway province of Russia and like a bunch of this BS that Polish people were Russians originally and then they formed their own identity and a bunch of this. It's so stupid. It's such a stupid argument. It's like you can make the argument the opposite way. So like Poland is an older civilization than Russia. It is. Poland, I don't know if Poland is the first Slavic country. It's definitely one of the first ones. I'll actually look that up, but Poland is, 300 to 500 years older than Russia. Is Poland the first Slavic civilization? Let's see, is it? Poland is not the first Slavic civilization, but it's one of the oldest ones. What is the first Slavic civilization, I wonder? The first Slavic country. Let's look up country here. Samos Empire. The first Slavic state. Modern-day Bohemia, Moravia, and Silesia, and Austria. So, around the area where the Czechoslovakia is. So, Czechoslovakia, technically, is the first Slavic civilization, not Poland. So, Czechoslovakia is. What defines a Slavic civilization? Just Slavs just forming a civilization. That's just about it. Really, there's no special thing for that. So yeah, so you learn something new every day. I didn't know that Czechoslovakia is older than Poland. I didn't know that. But Russia is definitely not the first Slavic civilization. A lot of people think it is, but it's not. Did you win that race, Dopey? I wasn't even paying attention. Did you win? Nationalists will always use history for their benefit to prove they're the most superior. Well, the way that I see it, Leskiff is and let me just hang on a second here. Let me just see. Dopey, did you win that? Did you win first place in that? Who won first place? Oh, that guy's not in our posse. He was only level 4. Okay. Well, what I was gonna say about it is, I don't think that nationalism in itself is necessarily a bad thing. I think that the problem is ultranationalism. Because a lot of good leaders throughout history have been nationalists. Like George Washington, for example, was a nationalist. So there are like a lot of really good leaders throughout history have been nationalists. I think the problem is ultranationalists, because ultranationalists are bad people. They're just bad, evil people. Like an ultranationalist is basically a fascist. That's what that is. A nationalist is just somebody that, likes their country and does what's best for their country and puts their country first. That's basically what it is. But an ultranationalist, on the other hand, is an imperialist. An ultranationalist is like an imperialist. They think that other countries are inferior to them, and they think that they should rule over other countries. So that's really the difference between an ultranationalist and a nationalist. A nationalist is just somebody who likes their country, wants to do what's best for their country, but an ultranationalist is somebody who thinks other countries are inferior and wants to conquer them. Yeah, and I see your point, Leskiff, is that having being proud of your history is like they're focusing on their history when instead they should be focusing on how their people live, and I agree with you 100% on that. We don't know, Joey. Belka did have some extremism groups in Yeah, I'll watch it one day, Adrian. We got a lot of people in this race. I'm gonna have to kill a lot of people during this race. I'm killing every single person that's not dopey or in the posse. So well, yeah, look. There's I don't think there's anything I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with nationalism, but when you get to the point that somebody is too much nationalism can be extremely toxic. It can be. The most from somebody who likes history, like I'm really big in history, one of the things that gets me really mad is when I see like Dopey left. Did he? Okay, hold on. We're gonna do a bigger race because this is too many people here. One of the things that you can kill in races if it's an adversary race, yes. One of the things I cannot stand is when nationalists deny history, because they will do stuff like that. So while there's nothing necessarily wrong with being a nationalist, there is something wrong with denying your history, because I'm one of those people that believes that if you want to be like an actual nationalist, you also have to admit the horrible things your country did. If you truly love your country, you should be willing to also admit the horrible things your country did. And I've seen some really toxic people that like deny stuff that their countries do. Like, you will have like ultra nationalists in like Turkey that will deny the Armenian genocide. They will say the Armenian genocide never happened. You will have in Russia, like your country, you will have people that will deny like Stalin's atrocities. They'll like portray Stalin as some great hero of Russia, and they'll deny like the Holodomor, or they'll deny the Gulag system. You will have like you also have like ultra nationalists in Ukraine. In Ukraine, there's a lot of ultra nationalists, and they deny like the Volyn genocide. And the Volyn genocide was basically where you had Ukrainian ultra-nationalists during World War II. They went into Polish villages in western Ukraine and eastern Poland, and they just slaughtered people. Like, they just wiped out entire Polish, towns. They killed even children. They killed everyone. And they killed somewhere around 100 to 200,000 Polish people. And the modern-day government of Ukraine actually denies this. They say that it did not happen. They say all those Polish people moved. So, you have stuff like that. You even have it in my country. In my country, the exact same thing. So you'll have some American ultra-nationalists that will basically like say the Confederacy had nothing to do with slavery, and they'll lie about stuff like that, when the Confederacy very much was all about slavery. It was founded on slavery. It was like, they'll say, oh, it was states' rights, but it's states' rights to what exactly? It was pretty much founded entirely on slavery. That was the whole primary mission of the Confederacy. They were seceding because they were scared the North would make slavery illegal. That was really the whole purpose of the of it. Dopey, I'm just waiting for you to rejoin here. Pakistani ultra-nationalists denied genocide in Bangladesh. That is true. Yes, Pakistan, when they invaded Bangladesh in the 70s, I think that was 1971, they killed a lot of people in Bangladesh. That is true. Yeah, I think that Nixon was an idiot. I would agree with you on that, because the thing is, if Nixon had not supported Pakistan in that, is that he could have turned India into an ally, but by supporting Pakistan, he turned India permanently against America, and then India went towards the Soviets for help. That is true. So like, that was Nixon's one of the stupidest mistakes, is when he basically turned India away, because India could have been a partner of the U.S. That was a dumb thing that he did. Don't you live in Vietnam, though, Minion Dave? The next part of 50 Cent will come out right after this stream, like about 20 minutes after the stream. Wait, people are obsessed with certain history. It doesn't do crap to make us live better, reflect, learn, and move on. Goddammit. Yeah, and I wish people could, but unfortunately they can't. But look, here's the thing: is do you know why? Do you know what the primary reason is on why a lot of ultranationalists deny atrocities? You know why they deny atrocities their countries do? Whether you have Ukrainian ultranationalists, Russian ultranationalists, you will have Turkish ultranationalists, even Americans. You know, there's so many different countries that I can think of. And the reason that they deny the atrocities that their countries have committed throughout history, it's all the same reason. You know why they do it? It is because they are so proud of their country, and they cannot admit that their country had done something really horrible in the past. They cannot admit that their country, and specifically their people, had committed atrocities. And so what they do is they try to deflect. They try to blame others. They try to deny that it didn't happen. Say, oh, our country is beautiful. Our country is the best. Our country could not have done something that cruel and evil. And they'll make excuses for it. That's precisely why people deny genocides. It's because they don't want to admit that their country had done something like that. It's both a pride and a shame thing. They have so much pride in their country that they're blinded by the pride, and they can't seem to accept that their countries also did horrible things. And it's also a shame. They're so proud of their country that they cannot admit that their country did something evil in the past. What about Iraqi ultranationalists when they genocide the Kurds? Well, it's the same concept. There are Iraqi ultranationalists that basically deny that that Saddam gassed the Kurds when he very much did. Saddam tried to genocide the Kurds. He did. So there are people that Japan, the exact same thing happens in Japan. Japan, you have ultranationalists that deny their atrocities. You know, one of the few countries that does admit to the bad things they've done is Germany. Germany has admitted to it, and America for the most part has admitted to the bad things they've done too. Like a lot of Americans understand the bad things happened to Native Americans. They understand slavery, you know, happened. So there are stupid Americans out there that will like deny the Confederacy had anything to do with the slavery, but for the most part, it's not a very common view. Where in a lot of other countries, you will have some pretty toxic ultranationalists that will deny some bad things. And I mean, you also live in Vietnam, Gunner. So I mean, in your country, you have ultranationalists that deny like the Hue massacre. That's where the communists in it was the worst massacre of the Vietnam War, where communists had massacred like thousands of civilians. When they invaded Hue City, they marched civilians out of Hue and they marched them to mass graves and just shot them all and dumped them all in mass graves. It was like I think 3,000 to 5,000 people died in that massacre, and I think the government of Vietnam says that it never happened to this day. Yes, Kurds do live in Iraq, Iran, Turkey, and Syria. Which sword would you use? A saber, a broadsword, or a katana? Probably a saber. Probably have the feel of it better. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go have some food right now. I'm hungry. I haven't had dinner yet. Dopey, is it okay if I help you with this later tonight or tomorrow? I can help you win a an event. I can get you in a party and help you get MVP on something. 6,300 people died in the Hue massacre, so it's even worse than I thought. Yeah, so it's pretty bad. But yeah, honestly, that crap pisses me off when I see people like deny that bad crap. Like when I see people like deny murders, like deny massacres, that crap really pisses me off. It really does. I missed a super chat. Let's see here. Is Darman a D-bag? Thank you, Agent Reaper. I don't know. Like, people have said that he doesn't pay his employees well, but if he doesn't pay his employees well, then yeah, he's a scumbag. I never learned about the Hue massacre. Watch my playthrough of Black Ops 1, Minion Dave, if you hadn't already. I talk about the Hue massacre a lot in that one. I also talk about American massacres in my Black Ops 1 playthrough, so I don't just talk about the massacres Vietnam did. I also talk about, like, the My Lai massacre, which the US did. So I talk about war crimes that both sides committed. But I would check out my Black Ops playthrough if you hadn't Minion Dave. I talk a lot about that. Okay, comics. Well, the way it is right now, Liskiff, ultranationalists today deny atrocities. They deny atrocities. But if the ultranationalists were in power, they would be doing the atrocities. So that is that. So ultranationalists today, they deny the atrocities for the most part. They say, oh, it didn't happen. They pretend like, you know, these genocides didn't happen. But if these guys were in power, they'd be committing genocides right now. There's nothing wrong with liking modern Ukraine, April. I just said that the Ukrainian government denies the Volyn genocide. That is true. You know, Russia denies the Holodomor genocide, and Ukraine denies the Volyn genocide. It's two different genocides. One was done by Ukrainian ultranationalists during World War II, and the other one was done by the Soviets. But, you know, both countries deny genocides. But there's nothing wrong with liking Ukraine as a country. I'm talking more about the government. You know, the government in Ukraine denies a lot of that stuff. You know, there was Ukrainians that Ukrainian SS, you know, battalions, like the Galicia battalion. It was like an entire SS battalion made up of Ukrainians. But the Ukrainian government in their education system really does not talk about that. Let me see here. I want to ask you something. Sicilian Mafia is much different from American Mafia, but if you compare them, who's more evil? Oh, Sicilians. Sicilians are way more ruthless. Way more ruthless than the American Mafia. Way more brutal. The difference between the Sicilian and the American Mafia is that the American Mafia, if they're pissed off at somebody, they'll go out and kill them. But the Sicilian Mafia will wipe out entire families. That's what the Sicilian Mafia is like. Very brutal. No mercy. Okay, so I guess I'll be going here, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you guys for watching the stream. I will have the next part of 50 Cent in like 30 minutes. So 30 minutes from now, I'll have it up if anybody wants to watch it. A few weeks left till I graduate high school. Any advice? Well, I never did prom or any of that stuff. That just wasn't for me. But the first year of college is really easy. It's basically like high school. I wouldn't worry about it, dude. But I guess I'll be going here, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next one. Take